Dragon Age the Veilguard marks a significant evolution in BioWare's acclaimed RPG series. Set in a richly detailed world of Thetis, the game offers players a chance to step into the shoes of Rook, a new protagonist navigating a world on the brink of chaos. In Dragon Age the Veilguard, the plot revolves around the crumbling barrier between the physical world and the Fade, a mysterious realm inhabited by spirits and demons. The story begins with the sudden, unpredictable weakening of the Veil, the force that keeps the two realms separated. As the Veil falters, rifts, dangerous portals that spill out demons and other threats, begin to tear across Thetis, throwing the world into chaos. The player assumes the role of Rook, a member of the newly formed faction called the Veilguard, an elite group entrusted with protecting Thetis from these rifts and the growing influence of the Fade. Rook's mission is to navigate this turbulent time, battling the creatures that emerge from the rifts while uncovering the causes behind the Veil's weakening. Rook, Varric and Harding pursue Solus through the Tevinter capital city of Minrathos. Joined by Nev, the team locates Solus in Arlathan Forest, former capital of an ancient elven empire, where Solus plans to conduct a ritual to destroy the Veil. Rook interrupts the ritual, which inevitably releases two elven gods, Elganan and Gilethane, from imprisonment, and traps Solus within the Fade. Solus forms a blood connection with Rook, while Varric is badly injured in the encounter. Elganan and Gilethane intend to harness the Blight, the mass movement of Darkspawn after they corrupted Tevinter Old God into an archdemon, in their quest to destroy Thetis and build a new elven empire in its ruins. Rook takes up residence within the Lighthouse, Solus' former base of operations within the Fade, and recovers the Lyrium dagger used by Solus during the ritual. Travelling through the Crossroads, a pathway used by ancient elven gods within the Fade, Rook enlists the help of several factions across northern Thetis in the attempt to stop Elganan and Gilethane. As the story unfolds, Rook and their companions uncover dark secrets about the Veil itself, as well as a shocking connection to Solus. Solus' role in the events of the past resurface, revealing his involvement in altering the balance between the world of Thetis and the Fade, and the consequences of his actions in both realms. Rook must navigate a world torn between factions, each with their own agendas. The growing threat of the Fade encroaching on Thetis calls for delicate diplomacy, challenging moral choices, and deep alliances, or betrayals. Along the way, Rook discovers a diverse group of companions, each with their own motives and backstories, all while struggling with their personal role in the world, where the boundaries of life, death, and dreams are no longer certain. As the protagonist, the player must make choices that affect the future of Thetis, from restoring the Veil to possibly allowing the Fade to merge with the world, changing it forever. With the very fabric of reality at risk, Rook's decisions will shape the fate of both Thetis and the mystical Fade. The game introduces a more streamlined combat system, emphasizing real-time action over the tactical pause and play mechanics of earlier titles. This shift has been divisive. Some players appreciate the fast-paced battles while others miss the strategic depth. While you primarily control Rook, you can issue basic commands to your companions, for example, attack, defend, heal. The AI for the companions is fairly advanced, though you can tweak the tactics in the menu to suit different battle strategies. Each companion in Veilguard has unique combat abilities that complement Rook's skills. Synergy between characters plays key roles in battle. For example, one companion might use crowd control spells to stun enemies, while another will focus on single target damage, allowing for more focused attacks. Players can take advantage of combo attacks, where two characters coordinate to perform a devastating combo move that combine physical, elemental, and magical abilities for massive damage. While the game is real time, the ability to pause combat during critical moments, using a tactical pause, returns, allowing the players to issue commands to companions to reassess the situation. This feature ensures that though combat is fast, there is still strategic layers for players to manage, just not as deep as it used to be. The game features a wide range of enemies, from demonic entities from the Fade to rival factions attempting to control the chaos of the world. Each enemy has specific weaknesses, such as a vulnerability to fire or cold, and exploiting these weaknesses is vital in the tougher battles. The Fade creatures are especially unpredictable, with some enemies that can warp between realms, temporarily becoming invisible or changing their behavior mid-fight. These types of enemies require careful attention and timing, and the use of certain abilities to defeat. Combat effectiveness is also influenced by Rook's gear. Weapons and armor are customizable, with players being able to craft or find gear that enhances specific abilities or stats. For example, increased stamina, regeneration, enchanted elemental resistances. Gear upgrades are tied to both exploration and quests, rewarding players for their achievements and decisions. Now, the boss battles are the grand affairs that require careful planning, precise execution, and the ability to adapt to a variety of phases. Many boss fights feature multiple stages, such as a normal phase followed by a Fade phase, where the boss might summon rifts or some other unworldly abilities that will alter the environment. Boss fights are visually impressive but can feel repetitive after some time, and the environmental puzzles may seem formulaic. If there's one word I would use to describe the combat after the 90 hours I put into the game, it is repetitive. It's not terrible by any means, but after 20 hours, you really aren't doing anything new. You run into a group of enemies, use an AoE attack, pick off anybody left over, have a companion to combo off, and one to heal, rinse, and repeat. Like I said, the combat isn't terrible, it just doesn't add much after a few hours, and for a game designed for you to put hours and hours into, that's kind of sad. The Veilguard does boast stunning visuals, with meticulously crafted environments that enhance the immersive experience. The level of design is a notable downgrade over previous titles though, in my opinion. A lot of the time playing the game, I felt very boxed in. The arenas felt very quite small and claustrophobic. There were only a few times in the whole game where you could really feel a sense of scale. For example, anytime we went to visit the dwarves with Harding, a lot of the underground caves and temples felt really huge and cool to explore. The real big set pieces of the game were amazing. But the areas to explore when not doing story missions feel really small. You go through corridors to open little areas to fight enemies, you open a chest, you go through another corridor, move on to the next area. It fails to make me want to explore anything, which kind of sucks for this sort of game. A standout feature though is the diverse range of companions, each with unique backstory and personalities. But let's talk about it, the thing that seems to be driving the internet absolutely mad, more specifically, Tash, the non-binary companion. And I really don't know why. The game doesn't force her upon you. The character really only talks to you about being non-binary if you pursue a relationship, if you interact with her. I think the only real problem with Tash is that she feels like she's non-binary just to cross it off a checklist, rather than trying to create a compelling character who could just so happen to be non-binary, rather than Tash seems to make it a whole personality. Hopefully they can do something more with this in the future, but I see both sides. I see the side of Tash is poorly written, she's very much in your face about it, but I also see the side of we need to include these characters more in games. I think it makes more sense for them to be there because they are such a big part of our society. I just don't think Tash has been done very well. The game does offer inclusive character options, allowing players to explore various identities and relationships. However, the companion interactions could be a bit more nuanced, and the lack of interpersonal conflicts among companions was a missed opportunity. All disagreements between party members don't feel like they have lasting effects on the character or gameplay. There's only one real choice that you make that will have a lasting effect on the world, and it doesn't really amount to much in the long run anyway, which is really, really sad. While Dragon Age the Veilguard does offer a fresh take on the series, blending traditional RPG elements with modern gameplay mechanics, and while it might not fully recapture the magic of its predecessors, it does provide an engaging experience for both new and returning players. Its inclusive character options and compelling companion dynamics are commendable, though some areas could benefit from deeper exploration. Here's hoping that when BioWare do the next Dragon Age game, it's just a little bit better than this. I give Dragon Age the Veilguard a 7 out of 10. For more news, reviews, and previews, be sure to keep it locked right here to 1UP Games.